Morning, my name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Groovi Tuesday. I hope everybody's well. I can see we've got some viewers coming in already. Good morning, Karen, tuning in over on our YouTube page. You can watch us via YouTube and also via the Clarity Stamp Facebook page. So we'll just do my usual waffle whilst everyone pulls up a chair and gets comfortable. I can see we have some eyes in the room already, so to speak. Good morning, Mo. Normally the second one or the first one over on Facebook. Hope everybody's well. Here we go. Everybody's coming in now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've got Helen, we've got Clive. And we always start off our Groovi Tuesday with a weather report from wherever you are in the world. But I'm guessing if you're in the UK, it's probably going to be the same all over. Grey, damp, breezy, miserable. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we're going to spend an hour getting in the groove. So there we go. Here comes everybody. Good morning, Ken, Jane, Sharon. So happy Groovi Tuesday indeed, Mr. Ken. So I hope everybody's well. I hope everyone's looking forward to today. We're going down the hippie chick route. So I'm really looking forward to that. The artwork from the design team. So I thought we'll get a few more people in the room first, and then I'll show you what we'll be using. Well, I'll show you where we're heading, then what we'll be using, and then if you want to craft along at the same time, I'll give you an opportunity to go and gather your bits together, so to speak, and we'll have a look at some lovely artwork from the design team. But as we know from the beauty of Facebook and YouTube, that even if you're not tuning in live, or you want to craft along afterwards, then you can always go back and watch it, and it's all for free. So there we go. We've got Glynis is in the room, Jill. There we go. All our lovely friendly faces coming in. So have we got any newbies in the room today? Is there anyone tuning in for the first time? Maybe you watch afterwards. Maybe you're watching live for the first time today. If you are, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. The lovely Sue is in the room with you this morning. So if you have any questions or need anything, she's there to help. Sorry. The air caught the back of my throat then. Yeah, if I see any questions, I'll try and answer those for you. So I think I've had my all clear from Sue. I have indeed. All clear. Thank you, Sue. Okay. From a grey Solihull, looking forward to the hippie chicks. Hazel's with us. We're now trying to recover from being at Silverstone, the Grand Prix for 4 days. Interesting. Lovely Josie's in the room as well. There we go. Patricia from France, bonjour. That's as far as my French goes. So, yeah. So I hope everybody's well. I'm really looking forward to this morning. It's not very sort of hippie-fied, this shirt, is it? But it was a bit last minute. I've got a collection of shirts hanging up just over there that I just wear for Groovi Tuesday. I should have thought about it last night, but clean it out of my head. So let's show you where we're heading today and what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to take my inspiration from a lovely piece of artwork designed by Glynis. Okay, so this is, I thought what we'd do, we'd have a look and we'd decide whether we want to go for the hippie chicks, or whether we go for the like calligraphy style girls. But it's all about creating a frame. Now we're not going to go down the lovely grid borders. So what we're going to do, we're going to concentrate on the design itself. Okay, so this is where we're heading, the concept. So for this, you're going to need your Hippie Chicks Groovy plates. Okay, now the way in which Jazz has designed them is that we've got a complete frame of flowers around the outside. We've then also got some stars, which can be continued around both sides. We've got the two different styles of Hippie Chicks. We've got our sort of funky psychedelic, or we've got our lovely calligraphy style. ladies as well. I mean, we can mix and match, can't we? That's the beauty of the Groovi system. So we need this plate for sure. And then in order to create my rectangle frame around the outside, I'm going to be using my nested Pico rectangle Groovi plate. Okay. And we're going to be using that because I need a frame in which to contain everything. You may have a nested rectangle, or you may want to just do a square. So although we've got all three of the lovely hippie chicks here, maybe you just want to do a square with two of them or one of them. And I think when you look at the artwork that we're going to share with everybody, you'll think, oh, I like that, I'm going to go for this one. So what we're going to do, we're going to create not a replica, my interpretation on this particular layout from Glynis. Over the coming weeks, we can have a look at introducing some colour. I reckon we'll be with the hippie chicks for a couple of weeks, because you know I'm like, I waffle a little bit too much, don't I? So a frame, whether you go rectangle, circle, square, it's entirely up to you. The Groovi Chicks plate. Now the Groovi Chicks plate fits within our calligraphy plate mate. Let's turn it around that way. So plate mate comes with a lovely calligraphy style plate in the middle, but you've got this beautiful font around the outside as well. And obviously it is the year of the alphabet at Clarity. But we definitely need a plate mate to attach our parchment to work on. Okay, so plate mate, Groovi Chicks, a frame of some kind. Then we're going to need our Groovi guard, and we're going to stick with A5 clear parchment. I saw many of you adding this into your basket during the half price club member sale. Then we're going to need our tumble dry sheet, our two Groovi tools, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then finally some Groovi tabs to keep it all together. Okay, so that's what we're going to need during the course of this session, because I reckon today we will only get as far as tracing out our layout, our composition. Okay, so many of you have already got everything, the plate, maybe plate mate. If you haven't got the plate mate, you can work around it. Okay, right, so let me pop this to one side, because now what I want to do is to bring in the artwork from the design team. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in now so we can really admire this, the stunning samples from the design team. So let me see, I'm coming in, so I'm going to zoom in. See, I like this one. See, I'm terrible. I like all of them. There's not, you look at it and you think, oh wow, how's this one done? So this is a piece by Karen Jackson, and she has used, I reckon she's used the Pico squares around the outside to create the frame, and then the nested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, octagon. And she's used some of the multi-needle tools around the outside, and then applied some colour, and then used some of our lovely designer paper. Okay, so that is from Karen. So you can see it works beautifully within a square or an octagon frame. Then this is, I don't know why I need to, so this one is from Francis. Now when you compare it, exactly the same lady, but looks completely different, doesn't it? But it is exactly the same. And I love the use of the calligraphy girls' dresses around the outside. I love that. For me, less pattern building. Beautiful. I've got to stop saying it. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to pop these somewhere safe. So that's from Francis. Then this one is from Carol Pankstello. I love this. I love the stripy trousers. Now, if I bring the plate in, there's no stripy trousers on the plate, so Carol has introduced them herself. I wonder how she's done that. Let's say on the back. No, nothing from Carol on the back. I wonder if there's anything on the side. No, nothing on the inside. Using this is one of Linda's frames, the scallops, or the doily frames. And yeah, I love the use of the stripy trousers. Very hippie chic. Then this one, you can't miss this one. Okay, let me just pop that to one side. Should we have a guess at who made this one? I love the circles. So that's using the nested circles and coloured in. A little bit of perga glitter on there. Hippie chick, peace, love. Yeah, really love it. Any guesses on who we think's made this one? I reckon you'll all know. Yeah. It'll take a while for you to come in and comment, I know. There's always a delay. I'm going to move on to the next one, and I'll probably see the comments coming up. Then this one is from Hazel. I love the colour tones on this. The use of that border, that frame, and then this has actually been cut out using one of the doodle dies. I don't know if you can just see that around the outside. You see, where am I going? There we go. Some little multi-needle tools in the background there. Yes, you've all correctly guessed. That pink one was from Jane, indeed. Then the next one is from Francis. Love this. Look at that. Those flowers, you look as if you could pick them off. Then the next piece, I like this. It's a little sort of like spy holes, so to speak. This one's from Carol Pankstello. Christine Parks is watching from southern Italy. Lovely sunny morning. Well, lucky you, Christine. Can you send some over to the UK, please? We could definitely do some sunshine. I love that. See, 1, 2, 3. You got 3 potentially different cards there, haven't you? Just taking, yeah, like that. Then the next one, this one's funky, from Jill Askham. Look at that. Look at the depth. They look as if they could literally jump out and grab you. Then different configuration on this one. It's using the same girls. So this one's from Josie. So just arranged different. You got that one, then you got that one, and then you've got that one. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. And who's the next one from? This one's from Hazel. Hazel has used some of those lovely bow wad papers in the background. Works really well with the hippie chicks. It is, when the artwork comes in, it's just the different interpretations, the colours, whether you go sort of more soft and elegant, or you really go wild. And this one is from Jill Askham. And yeah, all you need is love, groovy baby, peace man, flower power, hippie chicks, make art not war, Glastonbury, here we come. Use of some little beads there on the frame around the outside. Then we have a piece from Carol Pankstello. Now I spy in the background some of that technique that Sam and Barb do with the bow wad papers. Yeah, that's using the bow wad paper transfer. Lovely on that. Now this one, excuse me, from Julie Campbell, using some of our rainbow parchment. They're just so, I think the designs, look, mixing and matching the calligraphy with their sort of the flares and the real hippie. Then we've got one from Carol Baker. Carol Baker's used a stencil in the background of that one. Let's come in on this one. Look at that. Real bright and zesty. That would definitely put a smile on somebody's face, wouldn't it? The next one is from Karen Jackson. Now, Karen, bless her, I mean, I'd say hats off, but the hats are on. Karen has actually Pico cut out the dress, the top, the trousers, and the hat. Let me bring that in and see if you can, I don't know if you can sort of really see that. If I hold it, I wonder if I'm going to bring it back on the overhead, but look at that. That's dedication, isn't it? It's like paper, those paper doll dressing, but with parchment. If I bring it up here, if I turn it to, there we go, look, can you see? Hang on, I'm trying to, where it's been pico cut and then layered on top. Using designer parchment to add, I reckon that's Northern Lights, that one. See, so, I mean, you could, the outfits are quite easy, that you could cut out with a normal pair of scissors if you wanted to, and lay them on top. This next one is from Julie Campbell, Peace and Love. I love where the colour's just been applied one side, so you get that lovely sort of white shadow effect. Yeah, really lovely. I've got to stop saying it, but they are, the artwork is just stunning. Queen of Grids, lovely Josie Davidson on some of our purple parchment, a little bit of sparkle on there, with the perga glitter and the brads to attach it. I love the monochromatic look, just like the two different tones. Then the next piece is from Carol Baker, and you'll notice that all of them have been contained within frames of different shapes, sizes. I love the background on this one. I reckon that's Dorso crayon in there, sort of soft blended, to give it that real sort of like, ooh, far out, babe. Pico, not the pico squares, the nested scallop squares around the outside. So it's two layers of parchment. So you've got your mat behind, and then the next one. So that's all been pico cut out. And then the final one in the pile is from Julie Campbell. I love the background on this. This is a separate piece that's been attached. Ties in with her trousers and her top. It just, when you look at the artwork, it just all that time and dedication that goes into it from the design team, and it's just like, wow, you really do. And I know many of you watching agree. I mean, the artwork, they're using the same plate basically, but the different configurations, whether you add color, whether you use the designer papers, the rainbow papers, parchment. It's all about having the choices and coming up with something different. So I hope you enjoyed that little gallery. Hopefully it gave you a little opportunity to gather all your bits and pieces. Is anyone going to sort of craft along with me this morning, or are you just going to sit and watch and enjoy the conversation in the chat room? I haven't been paying attention. All I've seen is that Susan Young says her bank balance is in the red after the sale. The basket kept filling itself. I know the clarity baskets have a terrible habit of doing that, and it just keeps jumping in and jumping in. It's like a magnet, isn't it? I mean, for half price. Well, it'd be rude not to, really, wouldn't it? Okay, so let me put this lovely artwork somewhere safe. Okay. Oh, I did have a bit of a play this morning. So the metallic gel pens, these were crying out for the technique with the metallic gel pens. So let me show you this. I only did it sort of very quickly, but you can see here. So what I've done, I've introduced both white line art from the Groovi plate, and then just two of the colors to color in. If I come on the overhead, I might get a better look at it with that lovely shimmer on there as well. And then if you put it behind some lovely papers, Because when we're working with the gel pens on the Groovi plate, we're working on the back. So technically we're working on the back and we stay on the back. Turn it over and this is the front. See, although saying that, I quite like this look as well. If I get a piece of white paper, let me see if you can see what happens is you get sort of like that hint of colour, don't you? Coming through from behind. You don't get the metallic luster, but you definitely get the look of the colour. See, and then when you turn it over, I mean, obviously her arms have disappeared now because we're on white, but the white line art on the whole of this is debossed because I kept the plate all in. I could have done this. This is using the Pico ovals. I could have done that, turned it over so that that was raised and then the rest of it was debossed. But I just thought, you know what? It gives me the overall effect of that lovely crisp white line art. So does it matter whether it's raised or debossed? 50-50 really, isn't it? Okay, so has everybody got all their bits and pieces together that those are going to join me? If not, don't forget, if you're not watching live, then you can pause, you can go and gather your bits, and then you can obviously come back and join the party. So to start off with, what we're going to do is we're going to create our frame. Now, as I say, I've chosen the nested rectangle Pico plate to give me my frame, but you could use any nested Groovi plate that you have in your collection. Okay, so a question from Nahid. I couldn't find where to join the loyalty point scheme when I placed my orders last night. Okay, now if I remember rightly, when you click, so you've logged into your account, okay, you've logged into your account, and I tell you what, Sue, sorry to be a pain, in my office near my radiator, I plugged my iPad in earlier. Would you mind just popping it in and I can show on the overhead? That may be easier to try and explain. So we'll give that a go. Okay, so bear with on that one. But what we'll do, we'll get started and then we'll come back to that. I think it should have enough charge in it for me just to show visually how that works. Okay, so we're going to start off with the nested rectangle Groovi plate, a piece of A5 parchment, like so, and I'm just going to attach it using some Groovi tabs, like so. It's same width as the parchment. Take a tumble dry sheet and I'm going to wipe. Now, if I have a look at this rectangle that Jazz has automatically given us, it fits lovely within the second one in, but it's shorter. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend to fill the frame. Okay. So in order to do that, what I found was easier. Thank you, Sue. Hopefully it took some charge. Let me have a look. Let's see if it charged up. It's so old, this iPad. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, it did charge. Right, okay. So let me just see if I can sign in. Right, okay. La di da di da. Di da di da. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're only going to trace one of the lines. So we're going for the second one in, and we're just going to trace the outer line all the way around the outside. Okay, so I'm just going back to, so in order to do that, I'm going to take my Groovi guard. Okay, let's have a look. I'm trying to multitask at the same time. So I'm taking my number 1 tool and I'm just going to trace the outer frame of the second one in. Okay, and that gives me my frame in which to work. Now, if you're going for a different shape, you can obviously adapt that. Okay, so let me see if I can Sign in. Right, so I'm trying to multitask. I wonder if if it remembers my password. Hang on. Come on. Right, I think I'm logged in. Let's just give it a minute to load. So that is my frame. Okay. Nice and easy, but it works. So now we're going to look at introducing the design. Okay, let's have a look. Where am I going? Right, okay. Let's have a look. Right, okay. Nahid, let me explain. Right, so I'm going to just zoom out a little bit. Okay. Right, let me just zoom out a little bit. So I'm doing this on my iPad. So it's depending on what device you're using, it may look slightly different. It definitely looks different on the iPad than it does on my computer. Okay, so once you're logged in, if I click on menu like so, and then I scroll down to view my account. Okay, so I'm going to view my account. I'm going to scroll past my orders and my address, and then at the bottom, it's telling me I've got 60 points. Okay, so you've got a box that says join our program. You've got one for putting your birth date in. You've got one for following on Instagram, and then you've got 1 point for every pound spent. Okay, so I've already clicked join the program, and I've already put my birth date in, and I've already followed on Instagram. So what this is telling me at present, I have 60 points. Okay, so I can look at my rewards history, and it tells me that I earned 50 points for signing up, and I got 10 points for following on Instagram. Okay, and then apparently it takes 30 days for the birthday points to be registered on your account. And I also understand that points on any purchases do not appear until we've dispatched your order. Okay. So, and then what you do is you earn your points. And then when you get 300 points, it means you get £5 off. 600 points, £10 off. And it's all under there explained exactly how it works. How do you check? How do you join? And this is all within your the account part of your account. So again, go back, view account, scroll past your orders. Some of you may have a couple of pages to scroll through. And then that's how that works. Okay, and this was something that we introduced on the 1st of July. And the loyalty points is open to everybody, regardless of whether you're a club member or a non-club member. Okay, so hopefully that made some sense. Okay, right, let's get back to our hippie jukes. So I've got my frame. Okay, and now I'm going to take my calligraphy plate mates. I'm going to pop my hippie chicks into here, and I'm just going to take one groovy tab just to hold the plate in place. A little bit of movement. Some of them, there'll be a little bit of movement within the plate mates, so that'll hold that in place. Ken says only a couple of pages. Mr. Ken, I'm sure your account history could fill an Encyclopedia Britannica, and many of our other friends that are also customers. Karin, I don't get that on my phone. Okay, so Karin, on your phone, you've got the menu and you scroll right down to the bottom. I don't know if I can do it on my phone. Let me just have a look. La di da di da. Where am I going? Clarity. Sign in. Oh, have a look. View account. Okay. Yeah. So I've just gone on to my phone. Okay. And you're going to scroll all the way. What happens? Hang on. Go back. What happens if you touch one of these? It can expand it. So all you need to do is just gently scroll up. See how it's expanded some of the areas. Go to view account. And you do need to be signed in for this. Okay. Go past all your orders. And then at the bottom, it'll say, hi, Karin. And then there'll be these little boxes that you can complete in order to, oh, okay, so there you go. So you found it. Super duper. Okay. All right. Hippie chick time. So what we're going to do, if I put this frame around the flowers, you'll see that what we're going to need to do is to extend it. Okay. So what Glynis has done, she has made a smaller frame so that the frame that Jazz has created is straightforward. But I thought we'd test ourselves a little bit. Okay, so we line up our frame around the flowers like so. Make sure we're happy with the position. Let's just slide that down a little bit, like so. Because obviously you can extend, you can shorten, you can change it into borders as well as frames. Okay, now top tip on this one. Okay, I'm going to start here at the bottom, because when I was doing this earlier to work out what size frame I needed, I got carried away and had a random star in there. No, it's not to say that you can't add a random star in, but if you're going for the flower power effect, then you don't really want a star. So the easiest thing to do is start on the bottom, and we're just going to trace out this flower here and this flower here. So I'm using the number 1 tool. Okay, so hopefully as I work my way round, I know that when I get to here, I need to stop. Okay, right, so I'm going to turn the work so it's more comfortable for me. I'm leaning on my Groovi guard, and what we're going to do now is just trace out our flowers. Okay, there we go. Whoops, just take it nice and slowly. No rush, is there? Oh, we've got loads of time. Famous last words. So, so whilst we're tracing the easy part out, so to speak, okay, let's see what else we got going on this week at Clarity Towers. So the half price club member sale ended at midnight last night. So thank you very much if you indulged in that. And I'm not going to mention any names at all. So yeah, so the team downstairs are picking and packing as fast as they can. So that ended at midnight last night. Then today we're on the Hippie Chick Trail in Groovi Tuesday. On Thursday, the lovely Jane Telford will be back on your screens at Create and Craft for the Pergamano show. That's at 11 o'clock and 3 p.m. And she is going to be putting the multi-needle tools through their paces with some lovely designs from Linda Williams. So we've decided that we're going to revisit Linda Williams' Christmas treasures over the coming months on the Pergamano show. But the main focus is going to be the multi-needle tools, and that's using the handbook from volume 1. Okay, so what am I going to do now? So that is on Thursday during the day to keep you company. And then on Thursday evening, it's SHAC time. And you'll be zenning out with Barb. And we're on J for Japan with the alphabet. And in that lovely teapot. So you're going to build a scene within the teapot. And I think you're going to be sort of, nice and calm. And also, all I would say is make sure you don't miss Thursday evening's SHAC. Okay? Because there is some exciting news coming. But all will be revealed by Barb in the SHAC on Thursday evening. That's all I'm saying. I know, I'm terrible, aren't I? I'm a real tease. Barb did hint at it, I think it was last week in the craft along. So, yeah, very exciting. Okay, so that, and then that sort of finishes the week off, apart from the Clarity Matters blogs, Barb's blogs. Yeah, there's lots there to keep you company and entertained this week. Okay, so need to remember I need to stop at this one here. Okay, Lillian's teapot is ready for Thursday. Is that your drawn teapot, Lillian, or is it the one that you're going to make some tea in? Because Barb was explaining about sort of like the Japanese ritual of making tea. And the pottery that Barb showed off yesterday. Grace has bagged the teapot. And I really loved that vase that Barb had made. Hint, hint. That was lovely. That's sort of rectangular vase. Loved it. Okay, so concentrate as you come to the end so that you don't get carried away. If you want to, you can put just a piece of copy paper over. So you don't get carried away. Okay, so we've completed the frame as prescribed for us by the design on the plate that Jazz has put together for us. Okay, so what I want to do now is extend it. And the easiest way of doing that, believe it or not, is just to turn it. Okay, and then I'm going to move it up so that now they don't slot back into the previous flower because they're in a different direction. But what we're going to do is just, you can see that they work like so. Attach a parchment and then continue tracing out the flowers. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, we could have traced these flowers out with, say, the number 2 or the number 3 tool, just the outline, and then we could have done white work in the middle of them, couldn't we? But I love what Glynis has done on her piece, where traced out with the number 1, and then I'm guessing that Glynis has used Perga colours. Let's have a look. Glynis, you haven't said, but I reckon, I don't know. I reckon it's definitely the Perga colour pens in the flowers, and I reckon it's Pergaliner pencils. I may be wrong. I'm sure Glynis will correct me if she can remember. But I reckon it's pencils in the outfits and pens in the flowers. Am I correct, Mrs. Glynis? Is Glynis still in the room? I'm sure she is. Yeah, so and I just love the sort of the vibrancy on this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to carry on with this. So it's all about having the versatility. So according to the ingredients list on the back from Glynis used the A5 nested rectangle plate. That's how Glynis created her frame. But I had my Pico one to hand. There we go. So Glynis, what's Glynis saying? Perga colours on the smaller bits and bigger bits pencils. There we go. I had a feeling that would be the case just by looking at it. But doesn't mean that I'm right, just by... Sometimes you can be surprised by what the design team have come up with. So we're going to complete our frame. Now this frame, we're using this, the flowers. You could do this with the stars if you wanted to, that's on the plate. Or you could do, maybe you wanted to do a row of the flowers at the top and the bottom and stars down the side, or stars at the top and bottom and flowers down the side. You really can mix it up. Okay, so we're almost done by extending our frame. So hopefully you can see this okay. I'm sure you can. I don't think my head's in right now. Okay. So last flower coming in now. Turn that over. And now we have a lovely floral frame. Okay. I know Glynis said she usually writes a list of, but she's forgotten the colouring item. I know, see, look, Glynis is very good. A lot of our design team, they list on the back exactly what they've used. Makes it so much more easier because you think, oh, what paper is this? What other plates have been used? Yeah, I love this. I love this. Let me bring this in. Glynis, maybe you can tell us what you did down the... I'm going to come on the overhead one. If I bring that one out, where we're going. This is lovely down this edge here. I reckon that's a 2-needle bold. I'm having a look now. No, okay. I'm going to have a guess. I reckon it's a series of 4 perforated. I reckon. Okay, let me get a piece of paper. Don't say anything yet, Glynis. I'm going to have a guess. See if I can. It's like, guess who, isn't it? So I reckon what Glynis has done, she's maybe used the 4-needle tool to perforate and then continue on, like so. Maybe use the grid to do that. Oh, Glynis, she revealed the answer. And then I reckon, I'm not looking at the answer, but this is what I did think. And then I think Glynis has embossed in the middle like that. And then Pico cut. So I reckon it's then Pico cut like so. Is that about right, Glynis? Oops, don't look. I think that's what Glynis did to create that lovely effect. I'm guessing on the size of the perforations, I reckon that's a 4-needle fine on there. I reckon, definitely. But it's lovely, isn't it? Okay, so we've now created our floral frame. Now, do we want to go portrait or do we want to go landscape, like what Glynis has created? So mine has got a little bit more depth to it, only fractionally. So do we want to go with the same configuration that Glynis has chosen? Do we want to mix it up a little bit? I reckon, I'm thinking now. I know, dangerous. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. To be thinking on a Tuesday. I think we will go with the designs exactly as they come. Okay. Or do I want to mix it? No, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to go for those two and that one in the middle. We'll keep the same configuration. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, the straight line on my frame that I've created, okay, I'm going to line it up with the edge of the plate here so that I know that they're going on straight, so to speak. And I'm going to come down a little bit, give them some space. So there we go, that's going there, like so. And then, so let's trace her out first. And I reckon, because don't forget, we're working on the back, so when we turn it over, she's going to be on the left-hand side, like this one here. I just think that hand on the hip attitude. Okay, so groovy guard in place, and we're going to keep it nice and easy and just stick with the number 1 tool. Okay, so let's, where do you start? Do you start at the top? Do you start at the bottom? There isn't a particular place to start, just start where you feel comfortable. So we're going to add in the detail on these designs. Is it just to be able to achieve something so easy. Let me zoom in a little bit now. Let me do my groovy yoga and stretch up, and let's come in a little bit more closely, because it's magic. They all of a sudden, they come to life when you trace out the design. So let's add a face and a little mouth, a ringlet hair. There we go. Now, if we wanted to, we could leave the outfit empty and add our own design. What do you reckon? See, the outfit is just so... Oops. There we go. So add our arm in, a little hand. There's our arm. Let's give her some shoes. Okay, add her shoes in. So let's have a look at her without any pattern in her outfit. Oh, I need to put the top of her trousers in. Well, that could be a jumpsuit, couldn't it? So if I lift that away, I did jump into there a little bit, but nobody can see that. So you've got a lovely outfit that you can decorate. You could take all these lovely little flowers and fill those in there. But saying that, you've already got the flowers on this outfit. So maybe you want to take it and fill it in with the small flowers from here, or maybe you want to take the stars from there. Maybe you want to see, look, you can go in, look, lay this over the top, and you could infill. So if you line the head up, okay, just like so, you could infill with the calligraphy pattern. Okay, and just keep within the outline of the trousers. But I reckon we'll go back and we'll add in these funky circles. So find where it sits back in, attach down using your Groovi tabs, and complete the rest of your design. So this one, I think we will create her outfit exactly how it comes. Okay. Now you could take the same character and you could have a row of ladies like this. I love, it's just, there we go. See how quick and easy it is to achieve something so beautiful and elegant. And all we're doing, we're given the artwork from Bob from the SHAC, translated into Groovi. Maybe this would be great if you've got like a 70s themed party coming up. Maybe you've got a special birthday or anniversary. These would really put you in the party mood, wouldn't they? For sure. Okay, let's do this one. She's definitely jumping for joy over here. So let's add her in. So we'll start the hat first, like so. Little flower. Flower power. Give her her arm. Oh, missed that part of the flower. Here we go. These characters are really good. I've got young nieces that would love cards with these designs on. Okay, now this time I'm going to go a little bit more slowly, because I think on this one what I might do is just do the outline of the outfit and then maybe fill it with something different. So if I get the outline in place first, like so. Here comes our big flare trousers. These are really flared. I mean, look at the size of her little ankle and how flared these trousers are. Give her shoes. Her dancing shoes. This one's definitely dancing for joy, this one. Didn't you give them names in the SHAC? I'm sure, I can't think what the names were. Wasn't it? Oh no, I can't even think. So there we go. So now we have, I mean, maybe you want to keep that outfit plain. It's all about the choices. And now we're going to go for Mrs. Calligraphy in the middle. So if I want to stick with the positioning, like so. So again, you can do this over here, line her up and put that lovely pattern. Maybe you want to do that. Put that calligraphy style on the trousers and the top. Choices, choices, choices. Okay. So, oops. Attach your parchment in place, like so. We're going to give her a handbag or not? I reckon we'll give her a handbag. But what we'll do, we'll trace her out first. Jazz, Gillian, Lisa. Really, we need another J. Jazz, Gillian, Jim. You decide which one's Jim. And that's basically the creative team, isn't it? Jazz, Gilly. Not Jazz, Gilly. Lisa. Oh, goodness me. I mean, Gilly is creative. Jazz, Jilly and Jim, the 3 J's. Right, so we've got her head in place. Let's give her her arms. Whee! Slow down. Alright, now we've got Peace Man. I'm glad you've got the little fingers there, so it's pointing in the right direction. Okay. Right. So you could give a different top, couldn't you? You could take the top from the bottom groovy chick and give her the funky pants. You can mix and match the outfits. Just follow the flow. If you find when you're doing this, you're getting a little bit of resistance from the tool, then just take your tumble dry sheet again. Just give it a little wipe. Okay. Add in put a little belly button in if you want to. And we're going to follow the lovely calligraphy pattern. Oh, we're getting smaller now. It really does blow me away sometimes when you look at the amount of detail on a plate that you can transfer it so easily to parchment. Just like so. So we'll continue with our hippie chicks next week, and we will look at introducing some colour. So should we have a vote on what we should use to colour in? Do we want to go... Okay, let's give you some options. We've got combination, so that will consist of Dorso crayons, Pergocolour exclusive pens, and the Pergoliner pencils. So that's one option. Combination. Oh, Glynis, yeah, you could put one of the Perga crystals as a bejeweled belly button. Okay, so we're going to go combination, or do we just want to go pencils, or just pens, or just crayons? What do you think? Sue's going to keep count of the votes. As we know what Glynis has used on her piece, she has used the Pergocolour pens in the little flowers and then pencils in the outfits. But there was a lovely piece of artwork in the pile that I'll dig it out in a minute. I love I think it may have been Hazel. I'll have a look in a minute, where I would say Dorso crayons have been used in the background to create a lovely effect. Okay, definitely needs a handbag. So what we're going to do now, or does she? Does she need a handbag? What do you reckon? Yeah, let's give her a handbag. Now, do we want a calligraphy handbag, or do we want a solid handbag? Let's stick with the design, and let's add the handbag in. I think I saw when Bob was showcasing the stamp version of these, I think somebody had used this handbag in their artwork, and it was used as a lantern. Very clever. thinking outside the box. So we're just going to follow all the way around. Like so. So don't forget, you can watch these back at your own pace. You can mute it, you can fast forward. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so now we have a hippie chick party time. Okay. And as Barb said before, they're designed beautifully in the same size in order to work with the calligraphy girls. So you can really have a sort of a girls' party going on, couldn't you? You could sort of do it on an A4 piece. I know maybe you've got a hen party or a wedding coming up. Really lovely for that. Let me see if I can find that piece of artwork. I think it was towards the bottom. Yeah, it's this one here. And oh, it's Carol Baker. I do apologise. I love the soft blend of colour in the background. See, this is quite nice. I like the different colours on the trousers. I reckon. Let's have a look at the instructions on the back. Pergoliners, perga colours, distress inks. Right, okay. So Carol has used distress inks to create the background. Nice. I'm going to go, I think we'll create a background like this. So what we're doing now, I'm taking my inspiration from the design team, and I'm taking all different areas from different ones to come up with my own sort of design. I love this soft blend in the background. So I think we'll do that with the Dorso crayons. Okay. And then we can decide what we're going to colour each of the outfits. Maybe I'll do a combination. You know how we've been working with the flowers? So maybe I'll do one with pencils, one with pens, and one with Dorso crayons. Maybe I'll do them all in pencil. I've got a week to think about it, but I saw that the answers that popped up was combi. So let's put all the different colour mediums through their paces next week. And we can even introduce the gel pens as well, couldn't we? So what we need by next week, if you want to carry on with this project, is to have just your clear parchment and is there, I know, you know, there's often names for groups of things, like a flock of birds and a gaggle of geese. Is there a name for a group of women? I would say that was probably called friends. I'm going to keep it safe on that level. So thank you for joining me once again. Thank you to Sue, the lovely design team. So don't forget, on Thursday, Jane will be on your telly box on Create and Craft at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock with the Pergamano show, putting the multi-needle tools volume 1 through their paces. Then on Thursday evening, you're in the SHAC with Barb, continuing J for Japan in the teapot, with some exciting news being announced as well during that hour, just saying. And then obviously check out the Clarity Matters blog at the weekends, and obviously Barb's blog throughout the course of the week. Barb will be back with you Thursday evening and then back on Monday. And on Tuesday of next week, we're going to carry on with the hippie chicks and we're going to introduce some colour. So thank you as always, and enjoy the rest of your week. Don't worry about the weather, just stay in and get groovy. And I'll see you all next week. Take care now. Bye-bye. Thanks, Sue.